Hey there guys, Noah here, welcome back to another Vanguard discussion video. Today, we gotta talk about the fact that LUARD's in standard. Like, normally I don't, do news type videos, but considering that LUARD's my favorite deck, considering my channel mascot is LUARD, this has got me hyped on a whole nother level. Like, honestly, I sat there and I'm like, are they really gonna keep releasing more Stride deck sets at this point? Because they had, by this point, already did Chronojet and Messiah, which I was like, okay, if those are the two Stride deck sets that they're going to keep supporting indefinitely for the format, then sure. But now we're at a point where we're also getting Sharanduing with Dominate and Luard. And I'm just sitting there like, was there a real actual need to reboot the game twice at that point if you ended up just committing back to Stride at that point? Me, it's just, that's my initial first take. And my other take on this is, so they're really not going to support V anymore, are they? Like, it's just, I think a lot of people are at the point where they know V is on its way out if it hasn't already. Like, Japan isn't getting a ban list. I would also suspect here in this, in the rest of the world that we wouldn't get a ban list for V. Mostly because Bushiroad probably doesn't know what the hell to do with it. Like, at this point, I think that's where we're at for V. Which is why I feel like a lot of these Stride deck sets are actually coming out. Because they want to have people to transition over to standard format who are still playing V at that point. And to an even more extent, people who play premium primarily, like me, who kind of need more decks that will actually, they'll actually sit down and actually play for the standard format. Which, I'm telling you right now, once Luard comes out in standard, you know, here in the West, I am going to be, you know, mean deep into it at that point. I'm probably going to be making so many, content, so much content for it. I'm just like, I know I'm kind of rambling, and I'm not making sense at times.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock!
But at the same time, wow, what an absolute bombshell. Like, I think at that point, another thing we have to consider too is what else is going to get a Stride deck set, because let's be honest for a minute and say that eventually Lyrical is gonna get some sort of deck set for Bermuda Triangle at some point. Whether or not that would be with something like Anj or even Loris, you know, that's up for debate. But for a while, I think a lot of people were under the assumption, okay, after Messiah, they're not going to give any other clan or any deck more, Stride deck sets. And now this happened. And now I'm sitting there like, you know, this might not be a bad thing. Or it can also simultaneously be an absolute curse. Who knows? But, at this point, they have to do it for, every clan at this point. Or give every clan an encounter. Because Keter has had 5 encounter decks outright. You had MLB, PBO, Ezel, Minerva, and now Luard. Yeah. Meanwhile, Dragon Empire has Overlord and now Sharanduing, and then Bracket with Messiah, Dark States with both Lukier and Chronojet, and now also on top of that, they also have Starkale with Maelstrom. I think that's it for that. I could be wrong, because I honestly don't remember what's wanted standard at the moment, but I think at this point, Bushiroad just needs to commit to the encounters in the long term and just say, fuck it. We're gonna go back to clans at this point, you know, and give everything, some sort of, clan representation. Give my boys Tachi something, because, you know, Tachi's, they've been on life support for a long time. They give them something, you know? But, I think at this point, I think that's the general direction that they're gonna go in going forward. Now, whether or not that's a bad thing or not, I guess that's up for debate. Whether or not that, you know, the whole point of standard format in its current form is you can mix and match whatever from the same nation. But now we're getting more clan support, and I'm sitting there like, you guys said you were going to stop after, you know, Overlord and PBO. Then you backtracked and said, fuck it, we're also releasing MLB. Then you did the exact same thing for Chronojet when you announced the Stride deck set, where you're like, hey, Chronojet is going to be the only one that actually has it. Then you released Messiah. And now these two. So I'm just kind of like, guys, you need to make up your mind. Are we just gonna go back to G at this point, or, you know, again, that's my whole mindset on it. But the other thing we have to consider too is, with all this like clan support coming out for standard, I guess the big question at the end of the day to a lot of people is V on its way out? And I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes for two reasons. One, V, outside of reprints, hasn't had an actual set release in almost a year. And secondly, they aren't really doing much with the ban list much these days. So I get the sneaky suspicion that this will be V's last year. I also get the feeling that maybe outside of maybe one more reprint set for the rest of the VRs, they're not going to go back and do anything with V at this point. I think they're going to axe V at the beginning of next year, probably sometime after Worlds, and then say, fuck it, now you guys, now we don't have to worry about this 3 format problem, because, you know, I don't think 3 formats is sustainable with this game, at least for the moment. Who knows, maybe things will change, maybe they'll actually start releasing shit, but given the fact of how much of an absolute ripple effect Steam Maiden had in the previous format, and among many other things, I think we're just at a point where V is on its way out. Standard is trying to make up for that fact by releasing all these Stride deck sets, so that way people that were playing V can actually go into Standard with their favorite clan. And if that's their intention, then they just need to commit to it. They say, fuck it, we're releasing every single clan into the game, and then you guys can go ahead and pick and choose whatever you see fit. And do like a new like kind of clan selection every year for standard format, where you release like support for all the clans all at once. So that way, you don't try to keep throwing these clans into the Craycross Epic sets, or just random sprinkles here and there with some of the other sets. And I think that would be the general direction where I think a lot of people would see this coming. But I know I'm kind of jumping between points, but I think that's where I see the game going now. Because, truth be told, if that's their whole intention by releasing all these like encounter cards and all these encounter decks, then sure, you know, I'm down for it. But they have to support everything. That includes all the other forgotten decks like Tachikaze, Murakumo, although they kind of got that one card from set 8. Neo Nectar being a big one. You know, you would have to like go all out with it, while still simultaneously having all this other stuff for standard, and it's just like, wow, that's just how it goes. But this is just a kind of a short like thoughts and opinions. Like, I'm super fucking hyped for Luard at this point. Like, I don't really haven't talked about it, but I've been playing Luard since 2016, or rather whenever it first came out, and I've just been so ecstatic now for it. I mean, let me put this into perspective. I've played every iteration of Luard, and since then, I've come to accept the fact that Luard is my baby. I love it. It will always be my favorite deck. And now that I'm getting it in standard, I'm like, you see all these other decks I own? Fuck them. Like, honestly, at this point, fuck all the other decks I own for standard at this point. Even Messiah, even Chrono Jet. Like, I'm just gonna commit to the clans, plus some of the Craycross Epic stuff and whatever set stuff comes out at set 11, because I bought a case for it. And after that, you know, I'm not touching any new deck at that point, because I'm long-term committed to Shadow Paladin, to Luard, to all this other stuff that have clans in them. I just don't see a reason for me to play any of the other stuff at that point. You know, if I already know what I like, what I enjoy, this is what I enjoy, this is what I like, I'm gonna play it. And that's kind of my whole take on it. And I feel like this is also the kind of direction that we're gonna go in now. You know, who knows, maybe we'll get like a whole bunch of different support going forward. Who knows? Maybe we'll get Chaos Breaker standard. Can you imagine if they just sat there and said, fuck it, we're gonna release Chaos Breaker in standard? Oh, they're not crazy enough to do it. Oh wait, I said the exact same thing for V, and yet look how that turned out. But yeah, I'm curious, guys, about your guys' takes on it. This was a one-shot because I didn't feel like trying to like sit there and really make this all presentable and shit. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there and just kind of gauge to see where you guys are at too. So let me know what you guys think about all this stuff in the comment section. Are you hyped for Serenity and Luard? Are you hyped for all the other stuff that got revealed recently with like Orifice Mask and whatnot? Because not gonna lie, if it wasn't for Luard, I'd be building Orifice Mask. Like, now I'm at that point too where it's just like, I could build Orifice Mask, but Luard is gonna come out immediately after that, so... Oops. Oh well. That's his own camo corpse that I could probably make a video on another day. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Until next time, this is Noah, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, everyone.